climate not a moral Christian value?
Well, we do want to take care of our climate, but I don't believe that what they're saying is true.
Are you a scientist, ma'am? Sorry.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Oh,
I
okay.
am not.
So why do you not believe that it's true if scientists are saying that it is?
That's a good question, I just don't believe all the things that they are saying. I mean, like Al Gore, all the things he's saying, how you have to, the climate is going, God has this all in his plan. We have to take care of the world. We have to take care of the climate. But I don't agree with what they're saying. We have crime going crazy in our big cities, don't we? Way too much crime. We have so many areas that are falling apart in our country. Yeah. So tell me again, what else do you want to know?
Trump last week said, or maybe it's 2 or 3 weeks ago, said that immigrants are spoiling the blood of the country. How do you hear those remarks?
Well, we just have way too many people coming in, and they're not vetted, Some of them are from countries of Iran, all over the world. How do we know it's all coming in? We're concerned for the safety in our country, what kind of people are coming in. And they're just letting anybody come across.
Well, they are. There are immigration courts. They're just overloaded.
Yeah. And I kind of have to chuckle about Governor Abbott busing loads of immigrants to Chicago when they say they're a sanctuary city. Okay, well, you said they could come, and now they're all upset about that, but they kind of deserve that.
A lot of people are calling this the most important election of their lives. Is it important to you?
It is crucial, actually, to me, because our country is in such a tough place. I mean, I am it's awful. I do believe that the election was stolen with Trump, that it was not a fair election, and I can't believe what Biden could do in this short of time and how he could just wreck the country. So yes, it is a very important election.
So let's get into some specifics. First of all, no courts agreed with you on the stolen election thing. At this point, what is it that still maintains that for you?
I watched that movie 2,000 Mules and saw where they had all those cameras on those election boxes and how they were putting extra ballots in those boxes. And then I was sure, and yeah, those ballots were coming in afterwards. That they said under the table, or it wasn't right. It wasn't fair. I believe it was stolen. I honestly do.
I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. She said a lot, but let's start with her climate denial. She's not a scientist, admittedly not a scientist, but also you can tell. She doesn't have any reason not to believe climate scientists who say beyond a shadow of a doubt climate change is 100% real and 100% man-made, and if we don't take action to reverse the damage we've done to this planet, then it will be inhospitable to human life pretty soon. At the very least, the damage we have done will become irreversible, which is why it's imperative that we take measures now. But according to this woman at a MAGA rally in Iowa, climate change and the climate itself are just not Christian values, despite the fact that in the Bible, God gave man dominion over the animals and the earth and tasked him with caring for it. But climate is not a Christian value. However, destroying God's most wonderful creation because of excessive greed is apparently a Christian value. And despite the fact that the year is 2024 and he has not been involved in politics for some time, she seems to be harboring some personal grudge against Al Gore. But once she realizes that she's completely inarticulate on the subject of climate change, she quickly pivots to crime and immigration. And I want to highlight one particularly heinous thing that she said.
And I kind of have to chuckle about Governor Abbott busing loads of immigrants to Chicago when they say they're a sanctuary city. Okay, well, you said they could come, and now they're all upset about that, but they kind of deserve that.
First and foremost, Chicago, yes, is a sanctuary city. Illinois is a sanctuary state, which means that state and local law enforcement officers do not cooperate with ICE for deportation. This pretty much only applies to undocumented immigrants, which the migrants who are being human trafficked by governors like Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis are not. They are not undocumented immigrants. These are people who came to America the right way. These are people who came through at legal checkpoints, despite the fact that she claims they're unvetted. These are people who are seeking asylum. They risked their entire lives to be here, and when they arrive, they're treated like subhuman animals. And as someone from Chicago, I know that my city doesn't have the resources to care for all of these people adequately, despite the lies that they're being told by people like Greg Abbott to get them here in the first place. That the city needs more federal funding and resources in order to adequately house all these people. I've seen tent cities of migrants who were bused here. Children sleeping in tents in Chicago in winter. Infants, families. And she's laughing. She thinks it's funny. She thinks the people deserve to be treated like props. This is not someone who sees black and brown people as human. This isn't someone who sees migrants as equal to her in any way. This is a MAGA white supremacist, and she absolutely disgusts me. The last thing this woman talks about in her interview is the fact that she thinks the election in 2020 was stolen, and her evidence for that was...
I watched that movie, 2,000 Mules, and saw where they had all those cameras on those election boxes and how they were putting extra ballots in those boxes.
2,000 Mules is a documentary about the election in 2020, claiming that it has irrefutable evidence that the election was stolen. It is a complete fraud. None of the claims made in the movie are substantiated, and the person who created the movie was a man named Dinesh D'Souza, who had previously been found guilty of violating campaign finance laws. Literally attempting to steal an election. But that is the man who MAGA has thrown their weight behind. They've decided that he is an expert, and they're going to believe whatever the hell he says, so long as it is in support of Donald Trump. We can't let people like Dinesh D'Souza or crazy MAGA racist lady decide who the next president is going to be. Make sure that you're registered to vote, because we all have a job to do come November.